Well, today in San Francisco, California, beautiful, sunny, a little too warm, but it's still a beautiful day. We're supposed to have severe winds later on today. I'm going to go over here and do a video on the state of things around the world. So yesterday I was walking along and there was a construction site and they had a backhoe digging into the ground, and they were about 3 feet deep, 3 feet, about 6 meters, I think it is. Anyway, and I looked down and I saw nothing but dry dirt, no wet soil at all. It was completely dry. That means that our drought is severe here in California. We can't get any moisture down into the ground because we haven't had enough rain. And this is the case in many parts of the world. And it's important to know that the world is in a severe drought, and that animals and plants all over the world are in this severe drought, and that it's not just people that are suffering. But let's talk about something else that's happening here in the U.S. That Kamala Harris here in the U.S., the vice president, is calling for an assault weapons ban. That is an excellent idea. But the problem is, that's as far as she's going to go. She's not going to get other senators or Congress people of any kind to get on the bandwagon of calling for an assault weapons ban and bringing up legislation that can be signed, and we can get rid of all these horrible assault rifles in the U.S., which we don't need. What does people need an assault weapon for? All it does is give something for their children to play with and take out and shoot other children with, or shoot themselves accidentally with. We do not need semi-automatic rifles in this country. We just don't. It's just not that bad. There's no war. There's nobody that we need to shoot, and that's all they're good for, is shooting other people. But Kamala Harris needs and get on. Where's Bernie Sanders? Can't you get him to sign on with it, or some of the other lefties on there, and get out there with signs, whatever you have to do, in front of the Congress, and picket and show that we want an assault weapons ban in this country. We saw a horrible situation where the far right was in the NRA meeting, and we had a huge protest in front of the NRA meeting. There was 4,000 people plus at that protest, and only a few hundred inside. Most people decided not to show up, and of course Donald Trump had to come up and start pretending like he was the liberal and start naming off the names of the children who were died, even though he's inside the NRA meeting for pro-guns. What the F? The far right is trying to put a wool blanket over everyone's eyes. We need to get out there and protest. Tell your friends you're sick of this. We have to do something. Maybe you write a few signs, go out for 15 minutes on your street corner and show the signs to cars going by. Then they may get somebody to sign up for it, and before we know it, we have a movement to get rid of assault weapons in the U.S. Women are under attack for abortion ban. Well, women can do something without any legislation at all. Cut it off. Cut off sex. Say no more sex until the abortion ban is gone. Because it takes two, a female and a male, to make a baby. And these unwanted babies are going to end up in the streets because nobody's going to take care of them. And they're going to make a mess out of everything, just like they are now. All the unwanted children and people that are homeless all over the U.S. We need to take care of ourselves. Stop the sex. Turn it off. It's very easy to do. Just say, unless you're willing to bring up a family with me, no sex. Just real simple. And then maybe men will understand that they have no business in women's abortion area. What business is that of theirs? If they're willing to make unwanted children, then they're going to have unwanted sex, and they're going to have to force it, and then the women are going to have to bring charges up on these men who force sex on them. There's all kinds of movements out there that we can all start to get into, and it's not just the U.S. The UK has a big problem, don't they? Britain's butterfly. 9 butterflies you may never see again. This may include swallowtails and the Scottish anglers. Now, there's up to 58 that are in the endangered list, but 9 are about to ready to disappear. You know what the problem is in the UK? Humans are driving the loss of the butterfly by destroying habitat. Who would have thought of that? Get together, small groups at first, and then you grow and grow to a bigger movement and save the habitat of the butterfly. You may have to save money or get money to buy land for the butterflies. Try and get people to put native gardens in their homes so that the butterflies have some place to go. Now, if you want to know of people that are trying to help Britain, chunkymark is a good one. Link down below. You can join his group and try and help the butterflies. Put out the word. Do something, people. We need to do something around the world. We're facing a climate disaster. Now, Environmental Coffeehouse here in the U.S., she talked about a really interesting problem that's happening is ships are now sailing up in the North Pole on both sides, Russia and the U.S., going all the way through. And the openings are getting wider and wider, the ship canal, because the ice is melting further and further back. This is serious, people. Do something. Get together with people. Environmental Coffeehouse's link is down below. You can go to her site and maybe get some kind of action going. You can put your comments on this site, on Pink Barrio, and tell people that, hey, I'm willing to do something if somebody else is willing to do something, and start a movement here. That's cool. Why not? Do something. We are in a dire strait here on this planet Earth, and nobody seems to be wanting to do a whole lot. Between the abortion ban and the assault weapons on our children being slaughtered like never before, and we need to get up and do something. But do something. Put my channel on different sites and try and get the people to see what is going on. But I don't know what else to do. I've been out here for years trying to get people to do something, and they just don't seem to do anything. I have this hopeless feeling that nobody is going to do anything unless we do something. And that's going to be very difficult, because it's going to take quite a bit to push back on the assault weapon, because there's so many people that think they need these guns for some reason. They feel threatened by somebody. I've never had a gun in my life that I owned, and I've never needed one. I've never had anybody come up and threaten me. I keep my eyes open and my senses aware, and I just don't need a gun. I don't put myself out there at bad hours of the night, so I don't need a gun. And the house I live in is well secure, so we don't need guns. We don't need assault weapons. We just don't need them. So let's get together, join Kamala Harris, and say no more assault rifles here in the U.S. Background checks, real background checks. So with that, it's starting to get busy out, so I guess I'll head on out and do the video. And remember, thumbs up, write your comment, and put this video on different sites. Link it to other places so that we can get this movement going. And until next time.